It appears Fabinho's on the brink of agreeing a £40 million move from Liverpool to Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia. The Brazilian is not on Liverpool's pre-season tour of Germany, presumably because he's negotiating his exit. Let's talk to Dominic King, the Daily Mail's Northern football correspondent who covers Liverpool. Dom, good morning to you.
Hi, Dominic.
Good morning, Mark. Morning, Mark. Morning, Cass. Are we okay?
Yeah, Dom, can I ask this question first of all? Because last year I said, before the start of last season, and Thiago was in the team, and it was, obviously we're talking about Fabinho and the change in the midfield, but I said how important Thiago was, whether Liverpool season went well or not. And he had injuries and they lost their way slightly. And that whole area of the midfield looks like it's going to completely reinforced.
It really does at this moment in time. From some of the conversations I've heard so far, that the plans that Klopp's got in mind. I mean, he loves. He's injured at the minute, but he loves Stefan Bajcetic, the young lad who made such an impact when he came in last season. He's bought Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister, and you're not going to spend the money the money and the pedigree that they've got for them to sit on the bench. So there's I can see things being completely reshuffled.
And Fabinho going, or looked like he'd be moving to Saudi Arabia, nearly getting the money that actually paid for him.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the economics of it all round, I mean, Fabinho's going to get handsomely rewarded. Liverpool in terms of the transfer fee they're going to get for someone who's given them 5 years, potentially getting all the money back that they paid to Monaco 5 years ago is a remarkable bit of business. But he's I think it's more to it. I mean, it's a significant transfer, this, because he has been. He wasn't somebody that always grabbed the headlines, but the importance for him in the team, or the importance of the role that he has had over the last 5 years, can't be understated. I think he's the best. He was, for a point, the best holding midfielder in the world. I think that title is probably Rodri's now, the way he was last year, and the things that he did for Manchester City. But no, Fabinho was enormous particularly the first 3 years when they won the league and when they won the Champions League, and it's a real significant moment, I think, this in Liverpool's rebuild.
Don, what about Henderson then? Obviously, Fabinho's not in Germany because he's negotiating his deal, it would seem, but Henderson is in Germany. Well, where do you think that proposed move is at?
I think it's floundering at the minute, Mark. To be honest, because the onus is on Al Ittihad to come up with a transfer fee for him. And they haven't done that yet. I know that there's they can do a package for him in terms of his salary and whatever, but they haven't got the money to do transfer fees, which is I think they've got that. I think they have gone about this completely the wrong way at the moment. If they knew they wanted the Liverpool captain, they should have had the funds in place to make the offer. And
Dom, I think it's worth pointing out for our listeners that not every club in Saudi Arabia has had this massive investment from PIF. That's right, isn't it? And this club has not had it, which is because people might be thinking, "What do you mean they haven't got the money to pay? I thought they all did now," but that's not actually the case, is it?
No, that's absolutely correct, Mark. That's Al Ittihad are not one of the ones who have got the PIF backing, and that's the reason why they're able to do packages in terms of finance, but the salaries, the transfer fees is beyond them at the moment. So I don't know where it's going to go, because Liverpool certainly aren't going to give him away for nothing. They're absolutely not going to be the case.
So, Dom, Calvin Phillips has been mentioned. Lavia, also another one. Potential targets for Liverpool?
Yeah, Sofian Amrabat as well. He's another one. Ryan Gravenberch at Bayern Munich, who's been they've had a long-standing interest in. They were of the belief that Bayern Munich wouldn't want to let him go. They think an awful lot of him, Bayern Munich, but I think the fact that they're still looking at him, Liverpool, suggests that he's somebody that they could. I'm not going to say anything's going to happen, because it's at this stage of the transfer window, it would be ridiculous to say. All I would make clear is that he's a target that they're looking at.
Yeah. It's look. There's a lot of quality midfielders you mentioned there. Amrabat was brilliant, wasn't he?
Well, he was great in the World Cup.
Oh,
wasn't
absolutely,
he?
he was tremendous, and he kept getting the ball. And Lavia's a very young man, looking to keep moving on up. So there are potential targets. I mean, I'm still a really big fan of Calvin Phillips. I still think that year that he didn't really play enough and got injured, I still feel, I remember him from his Leeds performances, and he was literally the heartbeat of Leeds United when Leeds were at their very best.
Yeah, he was brilliant, and it's still only 2 years ago. Everybody was, he came out of the European Championships, didn't he, with his reputation absolutely blossoming.
Well, it was him and Rice, wasn't it, for the next 5 years? That's what he looked like he was going to be.
Yeah, he was. He was absolutely brilliant. But the one thing that I find fascinating about him being a target for Liverpool is whether the two clubs would actually do business.
Yeah,
I find it fascinating, but they haven't sort of negotiated anything since Raheem Sterling and in 2015, and we know the way the relationship between the two clubs has gone since then. I just for a player of he's an England international. He's vastly experienced in the Premier League. I just wonder how straightforward, let's stress the if that was to become a real target, how easy negotiations would be.
Dom, I don't know whether you were listening about 10 minutes ago, but Cask admitted he slept through the kids' cartoon on Friday when he took him to the cinema. So we're asking everybody what their favourite cartoon is. What's your cartoon of choice growing up?
How long have you got? Well, I love Tom and Jerry, but I'm going to throw. I don't know whether you've had this one in Jamie and his Magic Torch. We remember that?
Yes.
No, we haven't. Yeah,
we haven't heard that.
We like that one.
Wow.
Jamie and his Magic Torch.
Jamie and his Magic Torch, yeah.
Thank you, Doc. We get all the hard-hitting news stories here.
Well, don't we just?
Weekend Sports Breakfast with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. Sunday mornings from 6 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.